with National Developmental Greco-Roman coach Ike Anderson, who's working now with our Cadet World Team as it prepares to compete in Greco-Roman at the World Championships in Hungary. Ike, tell us your thought about the importance of the Cadet World Championships. FILA hasn't had this age level for about 11 years, and they started it up again, and the United States is going to go there with a strong team. What are your thoughts about the importance of this event?
I think it's very important, especially for us. The last time they had it was in 1999, and you know, a guy named Harry Lester actually won the event. So it shows you the importance of getting our young guys competition when they're young, international competition, so that you know, when they first, you know, they're first going over to the senior worlds, it's like a shock to them. Not, you know, they know what a Russian is, they know who Azerbaijan is, and just knowing that they can wrestle with them. So it's really huge for us. I mean, to get our young guys starting to compete in big international events. So I'm excited that they brought it back. I hope they keep it, you know, so that we can start these young guys at 14, 15 years old, and then just bring them right up to the Olympics, you know, and it will, you know, I think it's going to pay off where we're going to get guys on the medals at the Olympics and World Championships seniors.
So let's talk a little bit about your training camp and the kids you got here. What are your thoughts about the athletes that are on the Cadet Greco team, and how have they done during your training cycles?
Yeah, this is the second time they've come. The first time they came was in the middle of summer. I worked with them. For them, they're really excited to be here again. They're doing a really good job working with the training program that we put together. You know, we have some kids that are, I don't want to say young, you know, they're young, but they're really young Greco kids, where it's going to take them a while to get the concept of, you know, really how to wrestle it. This morning I was working with a couple of lightweights, and they were telling me how they, you know, dominated Fargo and how they overpower guys with certain things, and I'm like, hey, you know, you can't wrestle that way, wrestling the Europeans, you know, we're going to end up getting thrown on our heads. And, you know, I talked to them about, you know, Ellis' success, Harry's success, and how they wrestle, and pretty much, you know, it's the American style to wrestle this way until, you know, we get comfortable in that throwing position. So, you know, we got a few of them that we got to teach. You know, we have like top 3 kids on this team that's got a lot of experience working with either Ivan Ivanov or Eric Wetzel back in Chicago, and Dennis Hall up in Wisconsin. Hayden Toomer is one of Vaughn's kids. He's got really solid, good defense, understands Greco-Roman wrestling really well. Darius Henry is a kid out of Chicago. Eric Wetzel's worked with him. Brian Medlin's worked with him again. He's a natural athlete. He's, you know, everybody's now calling him the next Ellis Coleman. So, and he's really talented, and he's getting to understand what, you know, how to wrestle Greco. And then we have Ryan Gardner from Wisconsin, and I think Dennis has worked with him a couple times. Again, both of these 3 kids, you know, have a feel for it, you know, what it's going to take to win a medal.
What do you consider a good performance over there by this group? Do you have goals set, or is it we're going over there to see exactly what this is and how we stack up?
Yeah, we have some goals. You know, the 3 kids that I mentioned, I think they're medal potential. You know, I sat down with all 3 of them, and we talked about, you know, what they're going to take for them to win a medal. You know, and then they asked actually the whole team this morning at lunch when we sat down. We were talking about, you know, it's a possibility they all can medal, but they got to do the right things. They got to work hard. They got to eat right. They got to get the weights down, and you know, leave it on the mat. As a developmental coach, and taking this group overseas, we have 5 kids, you know, out of the 7, 8 kids I have, none of them's ever wrestled international before. So it's going to be let's see where we're at with some of them. But our goal is to win, you know, 3 or 4 medals if we can.
So what was an experience for these kids be like? I mean, coming to the Olympic Training Center twice, flying overseas, weighing in, competing against guys from other countries, being in a different culture. How does this make them better wrestlers?
How does this make them a better wrestler is that they're going to learn adversity. They're going to learn that sometimes they're not going to feel well, sometimes they're not going to feel great, but they got to get out and perform. Sometimes what's going to teach them is that they're not, and some of them are going to find out that they're not the best kid in the world. You know, a lot of them here wrestle and dominate the kids in the U.S. They're going to find out that they're good wrestlers all over the world, you know, and it's going to shock a few of them that they're going to lose, you know, where they go to Fargo and they haven't lost, you know, one kid was telling me, like, I was 20-0. They're going to find out he's got to wrestle his butt off just to be the guy from Japan.
Right.
So they're going to learn that when, you know, either way, when they get back, they're going to have to step their game up. They're going to have to keep working on their technique. They're going to have to get a little stronger. They're going to have to watch their weight. Some of them are going to learn that weight cutting is not the idea. It's more doing the training, learning technique. That's how they're going to get better, not cutting down to the next weight class.
Well, you looking forward to this opportunity to go overseas again and expose the United States to some good international competition?
Yeah, this group right here excites me because of just what you're saying. It's we're going to see where we're at. I also see that I think this group, I'm going to see them for a while. So now when they come to when we come to Junior Worlds, and you know how tough the Junior Worlds are, I got some kids that are going to have a little season, and I've worked with them, and they've been overseas, and they know what it takes. And then all of a sudden, we're all on the same page. I'm not getting kids that it's the first time ever making a Junior World Team, and they're like fighting me on, like, hey, you need to do this. We need to do 20 arm throws. We need to do. They're going to be wanting to do 20 arm throws because they don't want to go and have a poor performance.
Right. Well, good luck with this group, and hopefully we can bring home a little bit of success from Hungary.
Yeah, like I said, I think we can, but you know, at the same time, we're going to learn where we're at with our cadets, you know. And for me, I think a lot of the high school coaches that coach these kids are going to be shocked, you know, because I've gotten emails and calls from them. They think these kids are the next best thing since sliced bread.
Yeah. Well, outstanding. Thanks,
yeah.
Coach.
All right.